Subscribe. Korea's darkness has no end. I moved into the apartment on a Wednesday. By Thursday night, someone was walking around above me. The footsteps started at exactly 1:17 a.m. I know because I checked my phone. Slow, heavy, moving from one end of the ceiling to the other and back again, like someone pacing, like someone who could not stop. I had lived in apartments my whole life. I knew the sounds. Footsteps through the ceiling were normal. Neighbors moved around at night. People had insomnia. People paced. But these were different. There was no randomness to them. No pause to use the bathroom or get water from the kitchen. Just the same path. Back and forth for exactly 40 minutes. Then silence. Every night. Same time, same path, same 40 minutes. After 2 weeks, I knocked on the door upstairs. No answer. I knocked again. Nothing. I pressed my ear to the door. Silence. I went to the building manager the next morning. I asked about the unit above mine. He looked at his clipboard for a long time without saying anything. Then he told me it had been vacant for 3 years. I asked him why. He said the previous tenant had died there. He did not say how. He did not look at me when he said it. I called the rental agency. They confirmed it. Unit 901 had been empty since March, 3 years ago. No new tenants. The owner had decided not to relist it. I asked why. There was a pause on the line. Then the agent said sometimes owners just want to wait. She said it quickly. The way people say things quickly when they want to stop talking about them. I went back upstairs that night. I stood in front of the door for a long time. The hallway was very quiet. And then from somewhere behind the door, I heard it. The first footstep, beginning its walk. It was 1:17 a.m. I started recording. I set my phone on the bedside table every night and let it run. In the mornings, I would play back the recordings and listen. The footsteps were there every night. Clear, unmistakable, heavy, slow steps crossing the ceiling above my bed. But when I brought the recordings to the building manager and played them for him, he listened with his eyes on the table. When it finished, he said the building was old. He said old buildings made sounds. He did not look at the phone once while it was playing. I started researching the previous tenant. It took time. There was very little online. A name, a brief mention in a local community board post asking if anyone had information. No details about what had happened. No follow-up responses. I found one thing. A comment from someone who said they had lived in the building at the time. They said the woman in 901 had been found after her neighbor reported not seeing her for several weeks. They said she had been alone for a long time before that. They said she used to walk at night because she could not sleep. The comment was 3 years old. It had no replies. I moved my bed to the other side of the room. The footsteps followed. Same path, same time, but now directly overhead wherever I slept. I called a friend and asked him to stay over. He slept through the night without waking. In the morning, I asked him if he had heard anything. He said no, he had slept fine. He said I looked terrible. I played him the recording from the night before. He listened. He said it sounded like the building settling. He said I should see someone. He did not stay again. I stopped sleeping in the bedroom. I moved to the living room. The footsteps did not follow this time. They stayed above the bedroom, walking the same path, back and forth, for 40 minutes. From the living room, I could hear them clearly. And for the first time, I noticed something I had not noticed before. The footsteps were not random. They were not pacing. They were circling. A slow, deliberate circle in the center of the room above me. Over and over. The way something circles when it is looking for a way out. I went to 901 again. This time I brought a flashlight and a screwdriver. The lock was old. It took less than a minute. The apartment was empty. Completely. No furniture. No curtains. The floor was clean, except for dust. The walls were bare. It smelled like nothing. Like a space that had been sealed for a long time. I walked the perimeter with my flashlight. Nothing. I stood in the center of the room. Nothing. Then I looked at the floor. In the dust in the center of the room, There were marks, a circle, worn into the floor, as if someone had walked it thousands of times. I moved out 3 weeks later. I found a place on the other side of the city. Different building, newer, bright hallways, neighbors I could hear clearly through the walls doing ordinary things. The first night I slept 8 hours. The second night, the third. On the fourth night I woke at 1:16 a.m. For no reason I could identify. I lay in the dark and listened to the silence. At 1:17 a.m. the footsteps started above me. Slow, heavy, the same path. I called the building manager the next morning. I asked about the unit above mine. He said a young woman lived there. He said she had been there for 2 years. He said she was quiet. That night I stood in the hallway outside her door for a long time. At 1:15 a.m. I knocked. She answered immediately. She was awake. She looked at me the way people look at strangers who knock at 1 a.m. I apologized. I told her I could hear footsteps from her unit late at night. She stared at me. Then she said she went to bed at 10. She said she had not been walking around. She said she had never walked around at night in her life. Behind her, the apartment was dark, and from somewhere inside it, I could hear the footsteps. Still going, still circling. I called my doctor. I described what was happening. She referred me to someone else. I went twice. I described the footsteps, the circle on the floor, the way they had followed me to a new building. The person I was speaking to listened carefully. She asked how I was sleeping. She asked about stress. She did not say the footsteps were real. She did not say they were not. I stopped going after the second visit. The footsteps did not care whether I went or not. I have lived in 4 apartments since then. The footsteps have been in all of them. Same time, same pattern. I have had the units above me investigated twice. Both times the apartments were occupied by people who said they did not walk at night. Both times I could hear the footsteps while standing in front of their doors. Both times the people inside could not hear what I was hearing. I have stopped reporting it. I have stopped asking. I have learned to sleep through the first 20 minutes. By the 40th minute, I am usually unconscious again. Sometimes I think about the woman in 901. How long she must have walked that circle before anyone noticed she was gone. How many nights, how many times around. I try not to think about it too long. Last night, the footsteps stopped at 38 minutes instead of 40. I noticed because I had been counting. 2 minutes early. I lay in the dark, waiting for the silence to continue. It did not continue. At 39 minutes, something knocked on my front door. Once. Slowly. The way you knock when you are not in a hurry. When you know the person inside is already awake. I did not get up. I did not move. I lay completely still, and I listened. At 40 minutes, the footsteps resumed, but they were not above me anymore. They were in the hallway outside my door, moving slowly toward the elevator, and then they stopped. I have not opened my door since last night. I do not know what I am waiting for. I only know that whatever has been walking above me for the past 2 years has finally come down, and it knows which floor I am on. It is 1:14 a.m. as I write this. I can hear the elevator moving. It has gone up and down 3 times in the last hour. Each time it stops at my floor. Each time the doors open. Each time no one gets out. At 115, the elevator stopped again. The doors opened. I heard something step out into the hallway. The footsteps are coming toward my door now. Slow, heavy. The same ones I've been hearing for 2 years. It is 1:17. Something is standing outside my door. I can hear it breathing. Slow and steady. The way someone breathes when they have been walking for a very long time and have finally stopped. I have not moved. I have not made a sound. My phone is in my hand, and I am writing this because I do not know what else to do. The breathing stopped a moment ago. Now there is only the sound of my door handle, turning very slowly, as if whoever is on the other side already knows it is not locked.